the comfort demon is something that I think we all can relate to having been enticed by, right? I don't want to say it's the devil. Perhaps it is the devil. I don't know what you'd call it, but it's the voice in your head that tells you to keep scrolling. The voice in your head that tells you to rip another joint. The voice in your head that tells you to go to the 64th page of Pornhub and you just still can't be satisfied because you're that deep into a porn addiction. It's the thing that tells you that what you're doing is all right. And it feels really fun in the moment, but it gets to the point where you have no control over yourself at all, and you become a complete slave to your own urges. Now, my girlfriend, she said that a lot of her past boyfriends would cheat on her. And I sit back and I'm like, how much of a fucking loser do you have to be to cheat on someone? It's completely morally inept, don't get me wrong. But how do you have enough time to talk to multiple girls at once? How are you not driven to some greater purpose that you're going to be a slave to your fleshly desires to cheat on your loving girlfriend? It is absolutely fucking insane to me how many people are a slave to their urges and to the comfort demon. And they'll be fully in alignment, thinking that what they're doing is their own doing. You truly believe that if you can't keep your dick in your pants, you are in control. You truly believe that if you don't have the ability to follow moral standards that have been set in stone to guide you towards a better life, and you can't follow them because of your urges, you really think you're in control. Because you're not. I admittedly smoked a little bit of weed the other night, right? I've been burnt out, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll chill out, right? And the next day, which was yesterday, felt my skin crawling all day, fiending for some dopamine, right? The motivation chemical. You get it from drugs, porn, alcohol, all the other shit. You know, junk food, shit like that, right? And I was just sitting still, and my body was screaming at me that I needed to watch porn, I needed to eat junk food, I needed to scroll on Instagram for hours of the day, because simply sitting still felt unbearable because I was withdrawing from the weed that I smoked the night before. And a little thing about dopamine that most people don't know is that the dopamine you use today is going to dictate how you act tomorrow, right? And so normally when I'm feeling that on edge, it's because I turned off my Opal app on Instagram and YouTube and stuff and doom scroll for 4 hours, and my receptors are just fried. And so sitting still, talking and relaxing feels unbearable, right? And most people, especially if you're overweight, and again, nothing wrong with it, but what you need to realize is the cause of you being a slave to your impulses is your dopamine levels being completely fucking fried, right? And it's not hard to get over. You can't get over it with willpower. Willpower is not the way. You need to place objects in between you and porn, right? I used to have a porn addiction, and I put my phone in the bathroom because I used to watch it in my bedroom. And then I also blocked it with an app called like Opal. And so now I have a strict rule for myself: no phones in the bedroom ever, right? Admittedly, I also got a girlfriend. And so a lot of people, when they have those addictions, it's because they have an unfulfilled need. That's your own shit you got to deal with. I can't help y'all with that. But what you need to realize is you cannot will yourself away from this stuff that got you into the pit, right? Don't buy junk food. If you want to be in shape, don't buy junk food, and remove everything that goes against your identity of you being in shape, all right? And so think, what would the version of me who's in shape do? All right, they probably go to the gym, right? And it's easier said than done to just go to the gym. Don't get me wrong. But when you overcome these vices, like weed, porn, alcohol, all of this stuff, you have the ability to go to the gym much easier, right? I'm sweating right now. I did that sweat that y'all saw earlier is because I just got back from the gym. And It's much simpler to do hard shit. And what most people don't realize is that it is easy to do hard shit. Your dopamine is just fucking annihilated because you're scrolling, you're watching porn, you're doing all this other shit. Your baseline is consistently being raised, right? I was a psychology major. I dropped out, but besides the point, I've read 40 books specifically on dopamine. I've read multiple on dopamine. I didn't read 40 books on, you get what I'm saying. I understand how this shit works, and I've applied it to my life. And I'm telling you that all of this shit that you think is hard, all of these beliefs that you don't think you can overcome, you thinking you can't be consistent in the gym, you thinking you can't get jacked, you thinking you can't work on a business, you thinking you got ADHD and you can't focus, it is all because your dopamine's fried. I promise you. I promise you, because I was diagnosed with depression, anxiety, ADHD, the whole 9 yards. And I was also a porn addict since I was 8, right? Which that's a whole other thing I'm not going to talk about. But once I overcame all this shit, all of a sudden I don't have ADHD. Started eating a healthy diet, don't have ADHD. And I do believe it exists, don't get me wrong, but I can focus. I can focus. And so if you don't have the ability to sit down, put your phone away and focus on something because you're just constantly listening to this little prison that you're watching this fucking video on, you're not free. You are a slave to the comfort demon. Do you understand what I'm saying? All of these things that you think you're choosing to do, it's fucking choosing you, bro. It is fucking choosing you. And that is the gift of discipline, because you're telling yourself, I have a vision that I believe in, and I'm gonna choose to do this. Because the stuff that is easy to do, you are not choosing. You choose it at first, but then you have withdrawals and you're thinking, oh man, well, the weed really made me feel good, so I might as well smoke again, right? What would I have done had I not known how dopamine in my brain works? I probably would have been like, oh my God, I'm so anxious, I need to smoke. And then I would have started smoking, and then I would have smoked to overcome the withdrawals, to overcome the smoking, to overcome the withdrawals. And then I would have enjoyed it less, craved it more, and had worse withdrawals, because that's how addiction works, right? First time I smoked weed, and I don't even remember how long, right? It felt great. That's the greatest it'll ever be, because your body builds up a tolerance to the stuff that is unnatural that you're putting into your body, whether it's junk food, sugar, every other high dopamine thing, social media, porn. That's why people go to crazy ass websites and get like fucked up, bro. It's all because your brain is trying to return yourself back to a normal level of dopamine. And so the first time you do it, it's pure pleasure. You're just like, oh, this is great, right? Me smoking weed, I was like, damn, this feels good. But then the next day, I couldn't sit still. I couldn't focus. I really wanted to eat junk food and delve back into my porn addiction. I didn't, because I'm mindful and I'm like, oh, that's funny. Like, I pointed at it and I was like, that's straight withdrawal that I'm feeling. But most people are unconscious about it. And you can't be unconscious about it, because the second you're unconscious about it, that's when you delve back into your vices, and the comfort demon takes you down to a drifting state where you look back after 40 years and you're like, holy shit, what the fuck was I doing? And that's why most people end up in a life that they hate when they're older. The people that do end up in a life they hate when they're older, they never made a plan. They never made a goal. Yes, it is everyone's first time living, but I would arguably say it's my second time living, because I'm gonna be honest, I had an acid trip when I was 16 and it scared the shit out of me. And I thought I was gonna die, genuinely. And all I wanted was a second chance, and I got it. And I'm telling you, on this second life that I'm living, so to speak, I'm a lot more intentional. Because I realized in those moments when I was dying that I'd really been fucking around way too much, right? And it's not necessarily that I want status. I think there's a part within me that does want status. I think every man wants status. But I also just want a life that I can choose. I want a life where I can make money and not be enslaved by my urges, first off, but enslaved by other systems. You know, enslaved by my job because I drink all the time. And so all I'm doing is going to work, going home drinking, going to work, going home smoking, going to work, going home porn watching, video game playing. And then your whole life just becomes work because you need it to eat and have shelter and housing, and then whatever vice you have. And you can't do anything else. And most people are like, well, normal everyday life is hard. That's because you're having withdrawals, bro. That's because your dopamine's fucked. Do you know what I'm saying? Most people don't understand this, and that's why most people are in a shit situation. That's why most people believe they can't get out of their situation. Because normal everyday life feels so unenjoyable, and they don't realize that it's withdrawals that's causing you to geek out when you don't have junk food. I eat plain Greek yogurt, G, and frozen blueberries. Nothing else. I mean, sometimes I'll have honey as like my pre-workout meal, but you gotta realize, bro, it's not because I have some gift of discipline. It's because I negated all of my dopamine to the point where this shit is fun. This video that I'm making, I'm having a blast right now, bro. And most people, they can't even sit down and watch a long form YouTube video. And you watching this video, you're not on that path, clearly. But you gotta realize, bro, until you fully overcome all of your vices, you are a slave to the system. You are a slave to the comfort demon. You are a slave to yourself and your impulses and your flesh. Now, everyone falls into flesh. Don't get me wrong. There's been times when I've been lustful, times when I've been, I delve back into weed. I also chose to do it. Most people think they're choosing it and they're not. But most people, if I was to put a blocker of social media on their phone and they wake up and they don't have social media, they'd be reaching for it, their skin's crawling, they're geeking out like a fucking crackhead, bro. And you need to realize that shit for what it is, bro. It's a prison. This fucking phone is a prison. You gotta realize, bro, it's baby steps. It's baby steps, don't get me wrong. But once you can begin to place obstacles between you and this high dopamine producing stuff, not only is it way more enjoyable to just sit down and fucking go outside and walk because it's not miserable feeling, but you have so much more mental acuity than everyone else around you because you're healthier, and it's just way easier to, I don't want to say win at life because everyone's going on their own path, don't get me wrong, but most people, they're certainly not going the straight and narrow, bro. Wide is the path to destruction and straight and narrow is the way to life. Right? I think that's in the Bible. And I want you to realize that many, many people around you are slaves to the comfort demon, and they will drift forever, right? The people that shit talked me for being fat, most of them are drug addicts now. I don't talk to any of them. And that's real shit. And you need to realize, bro, especially if you're someone who's overweight, which you're probably just a fat person hater if you clicked on this video. I'm not a fat person hater. Like, I was a fat person. But I want you to realize that if you are overweight or you're not where you want to be, getting in good shape will solve about 95% of your problems. And then after that, it's kind of just like money. But then it's easier to make money because people trust you, you're better looking, and naturally just with the halo effect, you're more likely to get better jobs, better to get better positions when you're better looking. And so once you get this path figured out, right? Okay, cut the dopamine, cut the vices. All right, do stuff that feels good, do stuff that'll benefit the future of myself. Dude, you'll look back in a couple years and you'll be like, holy shit, I'm miles above anyone else my age, right? And it's not that you're better than them. You're not better than them. You're on the same playing field, but you got it a lot more than most of the people. Most people don't even set goals. I could ask you, what's your goal? And they'll be like, oh, to graduate college. And it's like, oh, all right, when? And what are you gonna do? Well, I mean, I'm a psychology major, and then I switched to business, and it's like, where do you go after that? And they're like, well, I'm gonna hope to get a job. And it's like, why are you not reaching out to people right now to get a job for when you graduate? Most people, they never think of that stuff because they're chasing the next high, because the comfort demon is fucking molesting them. Because they drink on the weekends, and then throughout the week, their brain is trying to recover from the fucking fog of the poison that they've been putting into their body. And then they do it the next week, and they're like, yeah, this is fun, and it's okay because, I'm going to school. And it's like, oh, dude, guess what, bro? Like, you're waiting on life to start. It started however many years ago you were born, G. And so you can drink, you can have fun, but I promise you, bro, the people that didn't drink and didn't have fun are probably going to have a lot better of a retirement and a future. And better relationships and they're going to enjoy their day-to-day more because they're not constantly withdrawing from the substance that they did the weekend before. Right? And so, I don't really know what the central theme of this video is. I'm kind of just blabbering. But make a fucking difference for yourself, dude. Like, assert yourself. Realize that this is the only life that you have. Because in that moment when I was thinking I was going to die, all I wanted was a second chance. I can't believe how selfish I had been. The fact that I was just smoking weed all the time. And it's like, holy shit, I could have done something great. And it's not necessarily like ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Like, I don't fucking matter at all. Nobody does. But you could be a better husband, a better son. You could be a better person. You know? Why would you not try and take yourself to your absolute limits to see where you can go? And I know exactly why it is. Like, there's psychology behind it, and it's because you have your needs that are unmet, right? And at the top of the pyramid of the hierarchy of needs, it's self-actualization, which is basically fulfilling your true potential. But before you get that, you need friends, and you need a sense of belonging, and you need self-esteem, which you get from health and fitness. That's how you build belief in yourself, by the way. And I want to go back to that point also. The reason why you allow yourself to get disrespected by other people is because you disrespect yourself. I think I already said that, but that's a bar. That's a bar right there. You need to understand and realize, bro. No one else is going to do it for you. No one else is going to put the key in the ignition and start your life other than you. And it's not that hard because most people aren't even trying. Most people, if I asked them their goal, they wouldn't even have a concrete answer. Most people don't wake up wanting to destroy the day. They just wake up thinking, oh, it's Monday. Oh, life sucks, but at least I got alcohol. It's like, dude, you could just like cut those vices and literally have any life you want. Because the latter is so much worse. And these people, when they're on their deathbed, they're going to pray that there's a heaven coming because they waited forever to start their life. Look, brother, I don't know what happens in the afterlife. No one does. But I'd rather have heaven right now than hell right now because I've been a slave to the comfort demon all my life. And so if you are interested in making a transformation, schedule a call with me, genuinely, because you will not be able to, you can do it alone. It'll take a lot more time, but you will not be able to you can do it alone. Good luck, bro. Like, genuinely. But I sincerely hope that whoever is watching this video, you start to be a bit more intentional with your life and start to realize that you can be anybody that you want, right? I was overweight as a kid. I was raised in low-income housing. I was poor. I mean, I still believe I'm poor, which is probably not helpful because I'm doing all right, honestly. Like, I got a car that's reliable. I got an iPhone. I got a microphone. I really hope my... Bro, have y'all been hearing wind noise this whole time? I really hope not. I'm gonna have to go back. But yeah, bro. I'm gonna start doing like outros with music that I'm playing in my car, but I want y'all to realize that greatness is upon you, and it's just behind those vices. Because the thing is, brother, is you unlock a new level of consciousness after you destroy your vices. And most people don't realize that. Most people never do that. And it's kind of like when you were like 7 years old and you became conscious. It's like that, but at another level. Your view is clouded, right? Think about you needing to go to the bathroom really bad. You can't think of anything else other than going to the bathroom. It's like that when you're a slave to the comfort demon. You can't think of anything else other than your vices, right? But once you overcome these vices, you can see clearer. Your brain is clear. You're capable of so much more, bro. And I really hope that you make a commitment to overcome these vices because they don't serve you. I feel so free now that I don't have a porn addiction. I feel so free now that I don't have to smoke every weekend. I feel so free that I don't have to go out every weekend just because I feel obligated to. It was never me wanting that. It was never the future version of you that... It was never God wanting you to do that shit. Anything that entices you and fucking whispers to you is out to get you, bro. Stuff does come easy, but you need to be wary of the stuff that comes way too easy. It's so easy to smoke weed and feel like you just climbed Mount Everest, except you didn't do fucking shit. And that's a problem, because you're getting rewarded for doing absolutely nothing. Whereas when you get rid of the stuff that rewards you for doing absolutely nothing, you'll work harder. Naturally. And life feels like a fucking video game. But if you play actual video games that are more stimulating, life feels a lot more boring. Life feels like something you need to escape. But when you destroy all your vices, your video games, your pornography, your junk food, you don't want to do anything but live it. And that's a magical thing, brother. Anyways, boys, I hope you took away something valuable from this video. Schedule me a call if you want to overcome your vices, because I'll get you locked the fuck in. It's just in the description. Schedule it, and I'll give you a free call if you want. If you said you came from this video, I'll give you a free call, and then I can just provide value to you. Hit me up on my Instagram, subscribe, like, follow, and comment, because a lot of people, I don't think, believe in themselves, and I'm trying to cultivate a community of people who believe in themselves, because I don't have that. I don't really feel like I have many like-minded individuals around me, and that's kind of why I use these videos as an outlet, and why I speak to the subscribers, because they kind of get a sense of belonging, and that's the goal, right? Anyways, I've been rambling for a bit too long, but I love you, boys.